never take my soul. You'll never take my soul.
El Presidente here with the Chainsaw Symphony. Right now, I was kindly invited to Fear Factory's tour bus, and I'm sitting here right now with Dino Cazares from Fear Factory.
You're sitting in the back of the tour bus.
I know.
This is where most girls come. The ones that are on the first date.
Yeah, right.
No, actually, we're all happily married now. That's in the past. But we are here now in Philadelphia. We are on tour in support of our record, Genexus.
The album is killer, dude. I got to tell you right off the bat. Soul Hacker, it's stuck in my head like an old piece of gum, man. But my favorite track is, what is it? Autonomous Combat System, the first track. I'm just wondering, like, I'm always curious. What's the what song came together the quickest on the record, and what did you labor over the most? Which song probably took the longest?
Actually, you know what's funny? Autonomous Combat System probably took the longest because the chorus in that song changed a few times. Soul Hacker was probably one of the easiest ones. It's just a very simple, groovy track. But all of them, every song, we took over a year to make the album. So every song kind of evolved and grew and marinated. So we had a lot of time to go back and correct mistakes or change things. Or while we were doing the process of the album, we actually went on tour a couple of times. So we were actually able to step away from it, come back to it with fresh ears, and hear things that we wanted to change. And sometimes that works out in our favor because, you have the opportunity to fix things. Yeah. And sometimes it's bad because you spend too much time on it and then you want to change everything. Right. So each song had its own little vibe like that. So it's hard to say what was the easiest and what was the hardest. But one I can off the top of my head, because you mentioned it, Autonomous Combat System, the chorus changed a few times, and Soul Hacker because it was a pretty simple, easy song that I thought was cool.
The album, it's awesome, and I'm wondering though, is the album format? Why are we still married to the album format? Like, obviously, you guys kind of make concept records. There's like a continuous theme, and it kind of ties things together. It makes sense, but I think on a whole, wouldn't it be so much cooler if a band just like, you came up with a riff, came up with a song with Burton, and you're like, okay, we're going to hit the studio this weekend. All right, we're recording it. All right, 2 weeks. All right, you can download it now from the website. You know what I mean? Like song by song, because that's kind of how I buy music now. Like I'll go on, I buy songs now, not like the days when you go to the record store and look through, like the metal section and like this looks cool or that looks cool. So I don't know. What do you think about that? Is the album format dated at this point?
Maybe not in metal. Maybe in pop it is, because I notice like a lot of pop artists are the ones who release singles, every few weeks or every month or every few months. A lot of underground hip hop artists do that too. They release a single and a video at the same time. You know what I mean? And it could be like they never make albums. They just keep releasing singles and singles and singles. Like guys like Riff Raff and Stitches and stuff like that. They just release singles, and they use probably their drug money to probably to pay for all that. But still, regardless, it's like it's cool. I think the album format for metal, no, I think it's still important. You know what I mean? I noticed that when we were putting this record together, it was hard to pick what were the singles because we felt there was a lot of standout tracks like Anodized, Soul Hacker, Protomech, Dielectric, Regenerate. You know what I mean? There was some really good, strong tracks to choose from. So it was really hard what we wanted the listeners to hear first. Soul Hacker, the label really picked that song. They liked it. They're like, wow, this is a great song. So we were like okay with it because every song on the record's good enough to be a single.
Definitely. But there's so few albums that I could listen to continuously. You're always skipping somewhere, like one or two. That's why I just feel it would be cool. And I hate like on iTunes when your favorite song is an album only. That pisses me the fuck off. That's just a snub to the fans, I think. But I think, I don't know, since the album format, like You don't make any money on record sales anymore, do you?
Not really, no.
So I think you should f it a little and put like, you know how like on the sticker it usually says like metal masterpiece, Rolling Stone. I think you should put like the shit's online comments that you could find, like sounds like a bear getting raped by power tools or something like that. Like Steve from Nebraska, just f people. I think that might make your album stand out a little.
Worst record of the year. Go buy it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, just mess with it, dude.
It was actually a band called Napalm Death. There was a magazine in the England, because they're from England. There was a magazine that this is probably like 20 something years ago, voted them the worst band ever, and it helped them.
Badge of honor, man.
And it helped them, and it's obviously helped them with their career.
They've had a pretty good run, much like you guys. Let's see. This is just something I wonder. Like one of my favorite songs. I remember when I was in high school, when I first got my license. I love listening to music in the car. It's my favorite place to listen to music. Tied for my top song. I also like Deftones' Bored. I like trying to hit that note with like Chino. I can't, but it's fun to try in your car where no one can hear you. But Demanufacture. I got no more. God damn. Singing that in my car is just tops to me. Is there any song that you rocked out to pretty hard, like when you first started driving or anything like that? Or
Well, I used to when I was a kid, I loved AC/DC, so everything that they came out with, I was all about it and sang it. But in my car, it's hard. It's a hard question. Actually, to be honest with you, a lot of times when I don't have to listen to music, I don't listen to music. I listen to talk radio. So, because we live music and we're creating music, we're studying music. I say studying music because when you listen, for musicians, when they listen to music, sometimes it's hard for them to just enjoy it. Sometimes we break it down. Right. You know what I mean? So we study music, yeah. So and we're constantly on tour. Like right now, we don't listen to no music at all, nothing, because we're playing loud music for an hour on stage every day or more, so we don't really do that. But going back to how you like to sing the songs in your car, we try to write songs to where people can do that. I don't want to live that way. There's so much stuff. Anodize. You know what I mean? We try to write hooks to where people can latch onto right away.
Well, mission accomplished. You said you listen to talk radio, though. Do you listen to podcasts at all, or?
Well, I've listened to mine.
You have a podcast? I didn't even.
I don't have a podcast. I mean, I listen to the ones I do.
All right, yeah. Like I caught you on Jamie Josta's podcast. That was pretty cool. But like you were saying, like Josta, he's got the gift of gab. So yeah, there was a couple times when, he just moved on, and you were trying to say something. I was like, wait, go back to that. But anyway, so all right, touring life. You said you got a wife at home.
She's here.
Oh, she's here with you?
Yeah, she's on the road with me. She's in the front lounge. She had the blue dress on.
Oh, nice, man. So you don't have to do Skype sex.
Oh, we do that too.
Yeah, just for fun and giggles in the other room.
No, I mean, because when we're gone.
When she's not here.
Yeah, when she's not here, when we're gone for long periods of time, or Europe and places like that. Yeah, but it's not necessarily Skype sex. It's FaceTime.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, because we have phone plans that are world phone plans, so we can do things on our phone in our bunk.
There you go. I have my wife with me here. She's actually with child, and we're talking about names. It's going to be a boy. I like Henry. I think it's a strong name. I like Goodfellas, Henry, and I like also Henry Rollins is a big fan. But I've been kind of thinking Dino might be a cool name. I don't know.
Were you really thinking?
No. He brought up Dean last night, and I was like, I really like Dean. I like Dean, and then we could call him Dino. So now
Yes.
it's in my head.
Yeah, do it. I think that's a great name.
it.
Well, actually, my name was named after Dean Martin.
I was going to ask you that. I love Dean Martin.
What do they call Dean Martin?
Dino.
So that's my name.
love it.
Dino. That's how it came about. But my middle name is Maury, believe it or not. One of my middle names is Maury, and that was named after a famous baseball player on the Dodgers back in the '60s. My dad was a huge fan of his, a guy named Maury Wills. who's like part of the old timers, and so he was actually also one of the early black baseball players as well.
Okay.
And so my dad named me. My middle name is after him. So my mom got the first name, my dad got the middle. Yeah, exactly.
When I think Maury, though, I think Goodfellas again. Maury's wigs don't fall off.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Or Maury Povich.
Oh yeah, Maury.
You are the father.
I am. Well, yeah, test is still pending. We'll see. The UPS guy comes by a lot. She wears a lot of shit from Amazon, so I don't know. But anyway, I won't keep you too much longer, man. I know you just woke up. I'm fighting a migraine right now, so it's like a show back here. But
yeah, we were in. We did the. It's called the Before Barbecue. It was the Guar barbecue yesterday. So they gave us a bunch of Guar beer.
I've had that. I had it last year.
Yeah, if you see, there's 2 cases on the front lounge. Well, we had 3. You know what I mean? Wow. And so we got pretty wasted last night. We had a blast, and so, we had. Yeah, well, I'm not hungover anymore, but earlier today I was. So.
They ran out of a Guar beer last year. I was so upset.
At the Guar barbecue?
At the Guar barbecue, they ran out of beer. People were pissed.
Of course, man. You're for people's entertainment.
I know. Before Guar even went on, it was like, I forget what band was playing. There was a couple bands left. But, yeah, that was a tragedy.
Yesterday was pretty killer because the Summer Slaughter tour and our tour joined together. So I got to see a lot of bands I don't normally get to see, like Born of Osiris, the Acacia Strain. I haven't got to see a lot of those bands because we've always been on tour or in studio making a record. So
I like the new Cattle Decapitation. Did you catch them?
New Cattle Decapitation. I didn't get to see them. They played really early. We were sleeping still. So
yeah, I was, I kind of been warming up to them. I'm not a big grindcore guy, but lately, they've kind of expanded their sound. But anyway, so I wanted to ask you something on the Jamie Josta podcast you were talking about back in the day. When the gold records were coming in and everything, you were hanging with Be Real from Cypress Hill. Yeah. So I was just wondering, what was the most you ever balled out in a night? Like the most you ever spent, or the dumbest purchase you ever made? You think?
Probably buying rims worth like $10,000. Rims for your truck. Going and get the bezel on your Rolex watch.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the bezel is the round part.
Wow.
On the watch.
Okay.
And getting that with a bunch of diamonds around it, and spending $12,000, $13,000 on it.
But you said you sold everything at a certain point, right?
I sold it all because after about a year I realized this just wasn't me. I didn't want to walk around with a $13,000 Rolex and then somebody looking at it because they want to jump me and steal it.
You're a target with that, right?
Correct. And same thing with the Rams and all that stuff. So I pretty much, just got rid of it. I mean, nothing against the guys who like it. That's cool, It just wasn't for me, and I just ended up moving on. But, those guys, Be Real, and those guys, they love smoking weed, and I don't smoke weed at all.
Oh, no?
So being around them, I would get a lot of contact highs because the stuff they smoke was pretty strong.
I bet. Yeah. I bet he's got the best shit. Do you still talk to Be Real at all? Is Cypress Hill still active? Do you know?
Cypress Hill is still very active. Yeah, a lot of my boys still work for Cypress Hill. Yeah, we see them around occasionally. Yeah. Okay.
Cool, man. Let's see. I won't keep you too much longer. Future plans. What's after this tour with Cold Chamber? What do we got cooking?
Immediately after this tour with Cold Chamber, we actually continue on for another month of touring in the U.S. A lot of places that we haven't hit on this tour. And then right after that, we go to South America. After that, we go to Japan and Indonesia, and we go to Bangkok, Thailand, and then after that, we go back over to Europe, and for November, December, and we're doing the 20-year anniversary for the album Demanufacture. And then hopefully we're talking about doing that here in the States next year. So,
how close are we to nailing something down for Demanufacture in the States at this point?
It's just talk. So it's not very close at all.
Oh, well, at least you're talking about it, man. I'll be there for that show for sure, man. But anyway, one more thing. Did you hear about the Lenny Kravitz thing? He split his pants. He's hanging out on stage.
No.
It totally happened. I'm not making it up.
It's. I think it's happened to a lot of musicians. It's happened to me too.
I was going to ask you that. You ever split a pant split your pants and leave a coconut hanging out or anything?
I didn't split my pants. Actually, my shorts fell.
Really?
Yeah. We were on tour with Ozzy, I believe it was 1996. And the button, I used to wear these army pants. And the button, I guess over time, broke. And my pants slid down, At first it was to my knee. I was trying to hold it, hold it open. And I don't wear underwear on stage.
So you went full frontal on stage?
Full frontal on stage. Well, I think you could see the bottom of it because still the body of the guitar was covering some of it. Yeah. But my tech came over and pulled them up. And then and right after this, actually I was still playing the song. My tech pulled me aside of the stage and actually grabbed gaff tape. And just went shh. Wow. He actually made me spin around and put gaff tape. I went out there, played the rest of the show with it like that.
What a pro, though. You didn't even stop to pull up your pants. You just kept going with the song.
Yeah, because you don't want to ruin the song. The show must go on. I'm not afraid of my whatever. And, I was single at the time. Maybe somebody would have liked it.
There you go, man. It could help you out. All right, Dino, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you talking with me today. Everybody check out the new Fear Factory record, Genexus. It's out now on Nuclear Blast Records. And anything to add before we let you go here?
Yes, I have one thing in particular to add is support your favorite artist, right? Even if you download the CD for free, maybe order the vinyl, maybe buy a T-shirt, maybe buy a ticket, come to the show. So support your favorite artist because we don't want to see live music become obsolete. We don't want some guy pressing play on a laptop to take over. You know what I mean? And also remember one thing. It on the first date.
Goddamn right. Thanks, Dino, so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. This is Dino Cazares from the group Fear Factory, and you're listening to the Chainsaw Symphony on 91.3 FM WTSR. It on the first date.